The Warriors continue letting down Steph Curry every single offseason, so today we're sending Steph to the San Antonio Spurs. In return, the Warriors get themselves De'Aaron Fox, Keldon Johnson, 3 first-round picks, and a second-rounder. Now, this is what the Spurs team is looking like with Curry. We're going to be a very good team. The duo of Wemby and Curry is going to be absolutely unguardable, and I feel like there's many championships on the way. We are starting off in the beginning of the 26-27 season, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our rotation. So in the starting lineup, we now have Stephen Curry, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Tobias Harris, and Victor Wembanyama. A very elite starting five here we have in San Antonio. Off the bench, we have Dylan Harper, Julian Champagnie, Carter Bryant, and Luke Cornett running a 9-man rotation. Throughout this video, I will be rebuilding the Spurs, pulling off trades as I see fit to build a perfect team around Steph and Wemby so they could go out there and compete for and hopefully win a championship. But before we go any further, I am giving away a copy of NBA 2K27, and I've also decided to add in a copy of GTA 6 for a few of my lucky subscribers. And all you have to do is subscribe and turn on post notifications for my channel. Winners will be announced on the release dates. Now back to the video. Now let's get to simulating here and see how we do throughout the first week. The first game is up against the Memphis Grizzlies, who we end up defeating 113-78. Wemby had himself 25 points and 20 rebounds. Stephen Curry in his Spurs debut, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Let's just go ahead and simulate the first week and see how many games we could win. We do end up losing to the OKC Thunder, but then we defeat the Milwaukee Bucks and the Minnesota Timberwolves, 124-123. Wemby had himself a 29-point triple-double, Stephen Curry 14 points, but he did foul out in 22 minutes. Starting out this season, our team is rolling on a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, balanced under our head coach Mitch Johnson. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but of course, if there are any trades to be made, we'll stop here at the trade deadline and show you all. Now, our team has actually made the NBA Cup Finals, and we are taking on the Detroit Pistons. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could win ourselves the NBA Cup. The Pistons will have home court advantage, and so far, it's a back and forth battle. We have the lead. Can we keep it? And yes, we can. We go on to win 130-106, where Wemby had himself 26 and 14. Curry had 20 points and 5 assists, and Victor Wembanyama goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging a 30-point double-double. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is the number 1 seed with 47 wins and only 5 losses, so we've been dominating the league. At the trade deadline, I was planning on trading away Tobias Harris, but it wouldn't make sense for how good our team has been doing, and Harris is actually doing good as well. 11 points per game, 48% from the field, 37% from the three-point line. So let's continue in the playoffs with our team, and then we'll see if there's any changes we need to make in the off-season. At the end of this season, our boy Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP, averaging 25 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steal, 3.5 blocks per game on 58% from the field and nearly 47% from the three-point line. Amazing season here by Wemby. Cam Boozer Rookie of the Year, Dylan Harper. Whoa, Dylan Harper also goes on to win an award, 6th Man of the Year, averaging 16 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal on nearly 50, 40, 70 shooting splits. Let's go. So Wemby ends up winning an MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Dylan Harper, 6th Man of the Year, which is 3 awards already. Zachary Ricochet, Most Improved, Kyrie Irving, Clutch Player, and our head coach also wins an award, Coach of the Year. 4 awards in 1 season is amazing. Okay, Executive of the Year, make that 5 awards. We are unstoppable. Victor Wembanyama, of course, makes it on an all-NBA first team. Will we get any more awards here? Let's take a look. We do land Wemby on all defensive first team. So yeah, Wemby's the only player that makes any awards here. But you know what? That's okay, because we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning 69 games and losing only 13. And just as we had thought, the duo of Steph and Wemby is absolutely unstoppable. Before we jump into the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at team and player stats. So here are the player stats for our regular season, where Wemby was averaging 25, 14, and 5. Stephen Curry on the San Antonio Spurs was averaging 20 points, 5 assists, 1 steal, half a block, on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. He was only playing 30 minutes per game, so these numbers are very impressive. 19 Stephon Castle, 16 Dylan Harper, 14 Vassell, 11 Tobias Harris, and 10 from Julian Champagnie. And then for team stats, we had ourselves the number 2 best offensive rating and the number 1 best defensive rating, making about 15 three-pointers a game. And now it is time for the NBA playoffs, and in the first round, we've got ourselves the Portland Trail Blazers. They have on their team Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, Deni Avdija, Toumani Camara, and Donovan Clingan. It looks like the Golden State Warriors have also made the NBA playoffs. Even without Curry, they ended this season as the number 7 seed, so they're actually not doing all that bad, but they still were a play-in team. Now let's see how we do here in the first round. Game number 1, we do end up winning, and let's go. Curry going off here for 37 points, 28 and 18 from Wemby, and 25 from Castle. Game number 2, we also get the win. Curry 41, 5 and 6, 4 steals and 1 block. 24 Wemby, 16 Castle. We also win game 3, and yes, we can. We go on to sweep the Portland Trailblazers. Dylan Harper here in game 4 had 29, 25 Castle, 23 and 12 from Curry. Wemby had himself a 20-point double-double. And so far here throughout the first round of the playoffs, we have Curry averaging 31 points per game. So it looks like he was saving his fuel from the regular season and now is going off here in the playoffs. 22 from Stephon Castle, 15 Vassell, 10 Tobias Harris, 27 and 14 from Wemby. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we've got ourselves the Phoenix Suns, who just defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have themselves Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. They were the number 4 seed, so still a very good team. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 112 to 102. Can we bounce back here in game 2? And yes, we can. We end up winning this game by 1 single point. Curry had himself 26, 37 Wemby, 27 Vassell. Game number 3, we also secure the win. Curry going off for 37 points, 29 Vassell, 20 Harper. Looks like Wemby did struggle big time here, only shooting 1 of 12 from the field. But nonetheless, at least we still secured the win. His defense was amazing, and so was his playmaking and rebounding. Game number 4, we also end up winning, going up 3-1. Curry continues dominating, dropping 34 points, 19 Harper, 16 Vassell. Can we, gentlemen, sweep the Suns? And yes, we can. In game 5, Curry just had 53 points, hitting 10 3-pointers. Whoa. 13 of 13 from the free throw line, 10 of 18 from the 3-point line, with 53 points in 43 minutes. Wemby had himself 27, 10, and 17 Champagnie. And just like that, we've made the Western Conference Finals. Against the Phoenix Suns, here are the player stats in the second round. Steph Curry was averaging 33, 4, and 6 with 2 steals a night. Can you imagine if Steph Curry was on the Spurs team when they took on the New York Knicks in the finals? I feel like the Spurs definitely would have won, but hey, we may get a rematch if the Knicks defeat the Pistons here and if we defeat the OKC Thunder. Now in the Western Conference, we are taking on the Thunder, and they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Wallace, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. But we legit need a rematch of last year's playoffs, the Spurs taking on the New York Knicks, but now the Spurs have themselves Steph Curry. That's going to be an amazing matchup. Let's see how we do here in the Western Conference Finals. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Wemby with 40, 15, 8, and 6 blocks. 22 Harper, 18 Castle, and Curry had himself 12 points. He did kind of struggle offensively, but we also going to win game 2. Curry 22, Wemby 34, and 26 Castle. Game 3, we secure the win. And we go on to sweep the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wemby had 32 and 10, 24 Curry, and 18 from Champagnie. But sadly, that rematch may not happen because right now the New York Knicks are getting whooped by the Detroit Pistons, and they are down 3-1. Looks like the New York Knicks don't have Mikal Bridges anymore unless he's injured, and yeah, they don't have him. Let me see where he ended up. There's no transaction report on what the New York Knicks exactly did with Mikal Bridges, but somehow he ended up on the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm not sure how that happened, but somehow it did. And now in the NBA Finals, we've got ourselves the Detroit Pistons. So Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Victor Wembanyama, Western Conference Finals MVP, and bro was averaging nearly 35 points a night. But now in the finals, we got ourselves the Pistons, and they have Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Joe, Zard Thompson, John Collins, and Jalen Duren, and this here is their bench unit. Let's get to simulating here and see how we do. They were the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Curry dropping 26, 26 Castle, 23 Champagnie, and 22 from Wemby. I do hope Curry's able to win Finals MVP if we win this series. That would be amazing. We also going to win Game 2. Castle dropping 30, 27 Curry, 24 Vassell, 21 from Wemby. So that puts us up 2-0. Make that 3-0. We also going to win Game 3, 108-99. Curry 22, 21 Wemby, and 18 Harris. And we may really just sweep the Detroit Pistons. Let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. They do have home court advantage, and it looks like we will be winning 130-127. Whoa, Wemby went off for a 42-point double-double, 5 stocks, 24 Curry, and 24 from Castle. And just like that, we go on to win the San Antonio Spurs a championship with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. Of course, we're going to continue running it back as many seasons as we can before Stephen Curry retires. But before that, here are the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 17 games. Our leading scorer was actually Stephen Curry, averaging 28 points per game. 27 and 11 from Victor Wembanyama, 19 Castle, 15 Harper, 15 Vassell, and 11 from Tobias Harris. Stephen Curry is already trying to retire. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and overturn that retirement. Let's try and win him his 6th championship. I'm also going to overturn KD and a few more players. Then we'll continue with the off-season. In the 2027 NBA Draft Lottery, it says we may end up with a lottery pick at pick number 12. I'm not sure if that's lottery protected. Let's skip to lottery results and see if it is. So it's not protected. We actually get ourselves a lottery pick in the 2027 NBA Draft. So we just won a championship and now end up with a lottery pick. That's amazing. I was planning on trading away the 12th overall pick, but what we're going to do is draft ourselves the highest overall player in the 27 draft and then use that player in his trade value to go acquire ourselves some better players. We could throw in a bunch of contracts, maybe bring in a big name. We'll see, but let's go to the NBA Draft and see who we're going to be able to draft here. The first overall pick the Utah Jazz have, and they take Christian Collins over Tyron Stokes. All right, the Houston Rockets end up with Tyron Stokes. That's an amazing get for the Rockets. The Pelicans with the 3rd overall pick take Jordan Smith Jr. Now let's sim to our pick here and see which player we should select. With the 12th overall pick, we're just going to go ahead and draft the highest overall player, which is Dylan Mingo. It says he has a ceiling of an all-star Paul Pressey and a floor Josh Giddey, which is really amazing. So he's regardless going to be at least as good as Josh Giddey. Of course, Josh Giddey is an amazing player, so let's go ahead and draft him here with the 12th overall pick. And it looks like we also have a 2nd rounder. Can't really get much here, but let's go ahead and draft whoever this guy here is, Hassan Bastork. Now for team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option for Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, but we'll let Ian Jackson walk, and the same for Dale McMillan. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Qualifying offers, we do have to re-sign Victor Wembanyama this offseason, which is going to basically be our biggest move this offseason, bringing back Wemby. But of course, we have bird rights, and he is a restricted free agent, so I'm not worried about losing him whatsoever. We're going to be able to re-sign him no matter what. He does have 11 offers. The highest offer is from the Dallas Mavericks, but even if he decides to join them, we will be able to match. So let's go ahead and throw him a 5-year deal, player option on that 5th year, and see if he'll accept our contract. Looks like he's willing to accept the Mavericks contract, but thankfully for us, he is a restricted free agent again, so we are able to match that offer. Bring back Wemby on a 4-year, what was that contract? 4-year, $203 million deal. We've already won a championship, and we're going to make a fun trade here with the Utah Jazz, bringing in Jaren Jackson Jr. We're going to have the best defensive front court in the entire NBA with Triple J and Victor Wembanyama. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and Wemby is a current Defensive Player of the Year, so we're going to be sending the Utah Jazz Julian Champagnie, Tobias Harris, Dylan Mingo, and Luke Kornet for Jaren Jackson Jr., and we also get Isaiah Collier, who we probably will trade this offseason for a new backup center. Can you all imagine the front court of Wemby and Triple J defensively? I don't think anyone's going to be able to score on us in the paint ever again. Now let's trade Isaiah Collier for a new backup center because we just got rid of our current backup center, Luke Kornet. The next trade we're going to make happen is with the Boston Celtics, sending them Isaiah Collier for Neemias Queta, and we also get ourselves a 2nd round pick, but Queta could be our brand new backup center. So our first backup center was Luke Kornet, also of the Boston Celtics, and our 2nd backup center is Neemias Queta, also of the Boston Celtics. Even after all those moves, we still have enough money to bring Keldon Johnson back to the Spurs, and I feel like that's the route we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and re-sign him, bring him back on the team after spending 1 season with the Warriors. Let's go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $10 million annually. Will he accept? And yes, he will, on a 4-year, $43 million contract. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new rotation. In the starting lineup, we have ourselves Stephen Curry, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Victor Wembanyama. Off the bench, we have Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, Carter Bryant, and Neemias Queta running a 9-man rotation. I definitely feel like this is a team that can go out there and win a back-to-back championship. Let's go ahead and simulate the first 2 weeks of the season and see how we do. We end up losing only 1 game somehow to the Milwaukee Bucks out of all teams. But we are right now the number 3 seed with 6 wins and 1 loss. And once again, to start out the season, we are rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, balanced under our head coach, Mitch Johnson. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, of course, we'll stop at the trade deadline and show you all. Our team goes on to make the NBA Cup Finals for the second year in a row, and this time we're taking on the Toronto Raptors. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we can go on and win a back-to-back NBA Cup. Let's see what happens here. We have home court advantage on our side, and we start off the first half very strong, and it looks like we will be winning 144 to 116. Dylan Harper 25, 22 Wemby, and 21 from Steph and Curry. Victor Wembanyama goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 24, 11, and 5 with 3 blocks per game. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP. Let's go. Tyron Stokes, Rookie of the Year. DeJounte Murray, 6-man. Wemby also winning a back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. Darren Peterson, Most Improved. Luka Doncic, Clutch Player. Mitch Johnson, back-to-back Coach of the Year. And we also win a back-to-back Executive of the Year. Of course, Wemby makes it on an All-NBA First Team. Will we get any more awards? And it looks like we don't. But we do land Wemby on All Defensive First Team as well. And that will be it for awards. No Triple J, surprisingly, but that's okay. We ended this season as the number 1 seed once again, winning 66 games and losing only 16. Surprisingly, we actually won less games than we did last year when we did not have Triple J, but that's okay because I see ourselves winning a back-to-back championship. But before that, let's go ahead and take a look at team and player stats. So here are the player stats. Wemby was the leading scorer, 26, 14, and 5, 1.5 steal, and 3 blocks per game. 22.5 from Curry on amazing shooting splits, 50, 45, 93 shooting splits, as well as 5 steals and 5 assists and 1 steal a game. 19 Castle, 17 Harper, 13 Triple J, and 11 from Devin Vassell. When it comes to team stats, we had ourselves the number 1 best offensive rating, which means our offense has gotten better than last year, and the number 1 best defensive rating, hitting about 14.5 3-pointers a game. And now it's time for the playoffs, and in the first round, we've got ourselves the Los Angeles Lakers. They have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Grimes, Josh Hart, and Walker Kessler, and this here will be their bench unit. And whoa, the Golden State Warriors actually ended the season as the number 5 seed. They've been doing just fine without Curry, so it seems like that was a win-win trade for both teams. Of course, we won more because we got Steph and Curry, but they're still not doing all that bad without him. But let's see how things go here in the first round. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Curry 26, 25 Triple J, 23 from Harper. Game number 2, we also secure the win. Curry 29, 28, 11 Wemby, and 19 from Castle. Game number 3, we are up 3-0. Curry continues dominating, dropping 29, Wemby 24, 14, 23 from Triple J, and we go on to sweep the Los Angeles Lakers. So far here in the playoffs, Curry is averaging 29 and 7. 22 Stephon Castle, 9 Devin Vassell, 22 Triple J, and 22 from Victor Wembanyama. Now in the second round, we've got ourselves a rematch of last year's second round against the Phoenix Suns, but this time they have Devin Booker, Jaden Hardy, Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn, and Kaman Maluach. Let's see how we do here against the Phoenix Suns. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Wemby going off for 44 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 assists. 29 Curry, 21 from Harper. We also going to win game 2, and yes, we can. This time Triple J leading the way, 22 points, 21 Wemby, 20 Castle, and 18 from Curry. Game number 3, we also end up winning. In this game, Wemby went off for 36 points and 18 rebounds with 8 stocks. 23-11 Curry and 23 from Triple J. And we go on to sweep the Phoenix Suns as well. Triple J led the way here with 31 points and 7 stocks. 26 Curry, 20 Harper, 19-point double-double from Wemby. Now for the second year in a row, we're back. Well, third year in a row, actually. We're back in the Western Conference Finals. This time we're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they have LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. They also have former San Antonio Spurs player Jeremy Sohan coming off the bench unit, but this is a very good team. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Wemby 33 points and 23 rebounds. Let's go. 25 Curry, 20 from Castle, and so far Curry is averaging 26 points on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits, and these are Wemby's numbers. Game number 2, we do end up losing here to the Timberwolves, 127-125. Castle played good, so did Wemby and Curry, but sadly we do end up losing. Game 3, we also end up losing, and now this is where I have to come up with a defensive coach game plan. Defensive coach game plan has been set. We are down 2-1. Let's start jumping the simcast for the remainder of these games and see how we do. Timberwolves do have home court advantage. So far, we start off the first half very strong, and it looks like we are going to win 149-120, outscoring them by 29 points, and Curry dropped 46 and 9. 25 Castle, 21 Wemby, and 20 Triple J. Now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece, but we're still going to continue jumping into simcast. We do have home court advantage for Game 5. And so far the Wolves have the lead. We take it right back. We're up by 8 points, 10 minutes remaining. Let's see what happens here. And we end up winning by one single point, 120-119. We secure the win. Wemby had himself 29 and 10. Castle with 25, 9 and 10. And then Curry had himself 16 points, 13 Harper. Can we also go on to win this next game and eliminate the Timberwolves? Let's find out. The Wolves do have home court advantage, but we have the lead, and we end up blowing them out 130-92, outscoring them here by 38 points. Wemby 25 and 14, 21 Triple J, and 20 from Curry. And just like that, for the third year in a row, the Spurs have made the NBA Finals. We're either going to have to take on the Pistons or the Hawks, and it will be the rematch of last year's NBA Finals against the Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and whoa, bro was averaging a 40-point double-double. That is unreal. Wemby, Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 25-point double-double. Now it's a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. They were the number 2 seed again, and they have Cade Cunningham, Dennis Jenkins, Asar Thompson, John Collins, and Jalen Duren. Still a very good team. Let's see what happens. Game number 1, we do end up losing 117-108. Can we bounce back here in game 2? And yes, we can. Wemby dropping 38, 12, 7, 4 blocks. Curry 25, 24, and 10 from Stephon Castle. Let's jump into simcast game 3. Pistons have home court advantage. Can we end up winning this game? And so far, the Pistons have the lead, and it looks like we're going to lose unless somehow we come back, which we do end up doing. 132-130. We push back in the fourth quarter to secure the win. Triple J had 31, 21 Castle, 19 Wemby. And that was a very close game. I'm not sure how we ended up winning that, but we came back in the fourth quarter. And now for game number 4, simcast again. Pistons have home court advantage. Can we go out there and win this game, go up 3-1? It looks like that's what's going to happen unless this time somehow they come back, and we're kind of pushing back, but we end up winning 131-129. Castle 25, 21 Wemby, and 20 from Curry. That puts us up 3-1, and since Curry is going to retire this offseason from the looks of things, as you guys could see there, he says, my body is giving me all the signs, it's time to hang him up. What we're going to do is jump into simcast and jump in the game for the last few minutes and see how Curry and Wemby play together. We are in simcast here, game number 5, I believe this is 5 or 6. We have home court advantage. Let's jump in when there's about 2-3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. We are up by about 14 points, 3 minutes remaining, 2:30 remaining, 2:16 remaining. We're still up by about 16 points. Let's go ahead and jump in and see Wemby and Curry. Alrighty, let's jump in here, see how Wemby Curry do. Right now, Wemby is at the free throw line, 118-102, where 2 minutes remaining. Of course, it's going to be very difficult for the Pistons to come back, but you never know. Anything's possible in 2K. Wemby makes his second free throw, and now the ball is being inbounded by the Detroit Pistons with Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham guarded by Stephen Curry. Let's see what he does here. Out to Dennis Jenkins, guarded by, I believe that's Dylan Harper. Derek Lively's not going to hit no three-pointer. We don't need to guard him out there. Cade Cunningham for the three-pointer, and he misses. Triple J with a rebound. And now we have Stephen Curry coming up the ball. Out to Keldon Johnson. Triple J, it looks like we're running a play for Triple J, but he wasn't able to hit that three-pointer. And now we're running a play for Stephen Curry. Wide open three-pointer, and he nails it. Let's go. Stephen Curry with a three-pointer to make his total to 24 points. Cade Cunningham advancing with the ball, guarded by Stephen Curry. Out to Dennis Jenkins. Let's see what they do here. Guarded by Dylan Harper. Cade Cunningham shoots in the post on Stephen Curry and hits that two-pointer. And now we have Stephen Curry coming up with the ball, guarded by Cade Cunningham. Let's see what he does here. Hopefully we run some more plays for Wemby or Curry. I want to see these two score some more buckets here. Wemby guarded by Derek Lively, and sadly Wemby goes on to miss that amazing defense from D-Live. Dennis Jenkins, two-pointer, and he misses. Amazing defense from Curry. Now we have Curry advancing with the ball. Let's see what we do. Hopefully we run more plays again, as I said earlier. I really want to see these two score some buckets here. Screen set by Wemby for Curry for the three-pointer, and he makes it. Let's go. Curry with another three-pointer. Cade Cunningham driving up with the ball. I don't know if he stepped out, but Wemby with a block on Cade Cunningham. Let's go. Curry and Wemby are doing everything right now, playing defense, offense, all of that. Triple J with the ball. We run a play for Keldon Johnson. He doesn't have time to hit a three-pointer. Out to Triple J. Get the ball to Curry or Wemby, but it looks like Keldon Johnson's going up for a shot here, and he misses. 8 seconds remaining. This game is over. Unless somehow they try scoring 100 points in 5 seconds, which is impossible. And just like that, we go on to win the San Antonio Spurs a back-to-back championship. There we have the trophy, NBA championship being handed to Victor Wembanyama. Dylan Harper celebrating, the whole team up on the stage. And thankfully we were able to win for our home court advantage fans, so our San Antonio Spurs fans are able to watch us celebrate this championship. Victor Wembanyama goes on to win Finals MVP, and whoa, bro's head is not even in the frame. It's literally out of the frame, as you guys can see. That's how tall Wemby is. And there we have it. We win the San Antonio Spurs a back-to-back championship with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. Here are the player stats for Game 5. Dylan Harper had 32 points in 24 minutes. Steph Curry 27 and 19 from Victor Wembanyama. And now, before I end out this video, let's go ahead and take a look at player stats for the playoffs and see our leading scorers. Where we played a total of 19 games, the leading scorer was Wemby, averaging 25, 13, and 5, 2.5 steals, and 3 blocks a night. Steph Curry was averaging 24 points, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, half a block, 21 Castle, 17 Triple J, 17 Harper, and 10 from Devin Vassell. And then in the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 5 games, this time it was actually Spawn Castle leading the way with 22 points, 22-11 from Wemby, 22 points per game from Steph Curry, and he was amazing. 50, 40, 89 shooting splits throughout the playoffs. Another amazing season and championship by Curry, giving him a total of 6 championships at the age of 40 years young. Now, that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.